Hello, welcome to Comfortable Shoes Studio. This is another episode of art making, and I'm Leslie. And in this episode, I'm going to work on another of my paneled collage pages that I've been doing, a little cartoony element. So I'm working with the cartoon element of using a map. So this map has been colored with watercolor crayons to tone it down. So what I'm trying to do is make the black on the map kind of recede a little bit. So I've got this one that I just freshly did, but I've got a bunch of chunks of previously made toned down map with it, but this one doesn't have the pink in it. I think that's going to work for today. And then I have this Gelli printed and crayon resist piece that I did. These collage pages I made quite a few years ago. I did some rubbings out and about in my city. I took a bag full of crayons, bag full of cheap paper, and just did crayon rubbings of all sorts of things around the city. That was a lot of fun. And this is one of those sheets of painted on magazine pages. This was a Family Circle magazine from 1971, older than I am. So yeah, that 1971 magazine, super thin, very crispy, ancient paper, but also not in the world's greatest shape. But I took acrylic paints, scraped it with a old gift card, and then brushed on some additional paint. This is all use it or lose it type situation with the paint. The paint was starting to dry out in the tubes, which is a thing that happens. You got to use your material. You buy those materials, you got to use them or they dry out. And then I want to put some lines radiating out from the cartoon figure. So I cut these lines out of a spare scrap sheet of that. So I'm gonna glue those on. And yeah, all right, let's get started here. I'm gonna glue this down first because that seems to work best for me these days. Let's just get that right out. I'm going to use glue stick for this. Again, this is the Uhu or yeah, Uhu. I'm going to go with Uhu. Glue stick. It is my favorite all-time glue stick because it just works every time. So this magazine paper is actually really quite delicate. While I was making these collage pages, I did get a lot of tearing. So that is a thing to consider when you are working with antique or vintage paper. It can and will tear, particularly if it is in, not the greatest of storage conditions. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but when we bought our house, it came with a box full of these old magazines. And maybe I can drop my glue stick again. No, it's got dog hair in it because everything in my house has dog hair. All right. So I am going to take my scraper and tear my page. There goes my my tape runner. Because God forbid I actually do anything in an organized way. All right. Let's get that nice and adhered down. That's as good as it's going to get, I think. I like that. And let's see. Let's get that character cut out. Okay. There's the character. We're not going to glue the character down yet. I am going to edge this with the black paint marker. You could, of course, do edging with a stamp pad or whatever you might paint your edges with. This just happens to work for me. So in the case of this paint marker, this one I've been using for a while, and I actually accidentally cut a groove into that edge of the paint marker, which gives me a pretty even line around. And of course, I'm having trouble slotting it in there right now because I'm talking about it. So it gives me a nice edge. I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. And while that's happening, I am going to go and slap these on. And I'm going to use, I think, glue stick. Yeah, I'm going to use glue stick for these. I'm going to have it radiate out from a central point. I'm going to mark that here. So the head is going to go there, and then I want these lines to all radiate out from the center of that head. And I also don't want to overlap it too awfully much, because that would put a giant lump right in the middle of the head, and we don't want the head lumpy, or I don't. I do like to use as much of my collage material as I possibly can. Get some more. I think no matter what I do, I'm going to end up with a bit of lumpiness. I think that's to be expected. up there. Like that. One more right there, which is good because all I've got is one more strip. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, now let's flip this and get my face back. All right, gotta create cartoon me. I'm using paint markers on here, or a paint marker. May or may not add color. To this with more paint marker. I don't know, I've talked about the Xena color paint markers before, but they really are very nice for a budget paint marker. All right, I'm gonna hit this with a heat gun and I want to glue it in. And all right. I got a big blob of glue stick on the front of that. How did I do that? All right, here's how you deal with that. Little baby wipe situation. And hope you don't wipe off too much of the watercolors in the background. And that you don't smear too much of the paint marker. Ugh. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to put a 3x5 card over that and then press it down with this tool. Okay. Yeah, I actually ended up with a lot of glue stick on that. So sometimes with glue stick you can just rub it off, but in the case of this, I actually have, it's causing a problem with the paint marker. And I don't mind the little bit of grunge from it. All right, I'm gonna hit that with the heat gun because got to dry it now. Just grabbing a couple of paint markers here and thinking about which one I want to use. I think the gray is just going to disappear. I think I want to go with those two. All right. Interesting. This is not a problem I've had with this particular brand of paint marker, but the paint is resisting the paint marker, so I'm going to have to go back and give this an outline. Yeah, this is, so it's weird. This, I've never had a problem with these paint markers sticking before, or like being resisted, because they're definitely being resisted. And I didn't, damn it. Oops, backwards as well. Not a big deal. All right, I'm gonna hit that with a heat gun before I smear it anymore. All right, I'm gonna go back in with the black paint marker, and I'm gonna outline all of these. See, the black paint marker, actually, it's all interesting. I've really never had a problem with acrylic paint markers sticking to an acrylic background. This is definitely a first for me. It's also very annoying. Oh, see, it's gotten better now. I don't understand. And I am purposefully letting this paint marker splatter. Kind of enjoying desplattering when it occurs. It's pretty random. All right, this was a fast page. I didn't really have much of an idea of what I was going to do when I went into it, but I really like this. I don't know. I think I'm going to add some of this pit marker. No, it's pretty transparent, so it's not overshadowing the black line work. All right, I like this. This is working well. I have this old paint marker that I've been using for a minute here. I'm going to tear a page out of one of my glue up books. I'm going to try to, if I can find one, because I'm tearing a page out because this, I don't know if you can see, there's a huge amount of overlap there. So I'd end up marking up the page behind this in a way I would not like. I do like how the black just completely cleans up the page. I know white's a little more traditional. I could theoretically use a white paint marker, but white paint markers, particularly like in this size, are not opaque enough for me. So there we go. There's our page. Again, I'll have this scanned and up on my Ko-fi account at some point in the near future, hopefully. I think I'm going to spend a bunch of time this coming weekend getting all of my scans done that I was not able to do over the last week or so because I had things happen in life that took precedent, and filling in a little more of these letters. Yeah, you can always find something that you want to add to if you look for it. Anyway, I really like this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Thanks and bye.